This is the 8th problem in the assignment 7. Here we have given a singly linked list and we need to write a function to swap elements pairwise. So if we have the input list like this and we need to swap the elements pairwise, which means we need to swap the two elements at a time. So we need to swap 1 and 2 and then 3 and 4, and for 5 we don't have a pair, so we just leave it like that. So in order to do this, what we are going to do is we'll make first we'll start with head, and we make 1 dot next is equals to 3, and we need to do 2 dot next to 1, 2 dot next to 1. So now what happens is 2 dot next is 1 and 1 dot next is 3. So now these two are swapped. Then we go to the next two elements and we repeat the same process, which becomes 3 dot next is 5 and 4 dot next is 3. So this becomes 4, 3 and 5. But we need to store the node with the value 1, so that we could make a 1 dot next is equals to this one. So that becomes 1, and 1 dot next, if we make 1 dot next to this becomes the output list, which is what we need. So let's write the function for this. So function swap pairs will have head as an input, and for we check the corner cases where head is not equals to null, or if head dot next is not equals to null, head equals to null and head dot next is equal to null. If either of them is equals to null, then we need to return head. Otherwise, let's declare few variables. First one is new head. So when we are doing the pairwise swap, the new head becomes the second element in the list, because we swap 1 with 2 and 2 comes to the front, which should be our new head. So I'm declaring a variable called new head, in which I'm assigning head dot next, so which in this case is 2. So in the new head we have 2, and let's declare a variable called previous. So this one I'm declaring because we need to so after we do the first swap 2 and 1, we need to store the address of 1, so that when we do the next swap, we need to make the 1 dot next to the next one, which is a 4. So to store this previous node's address, I'm having the pre variable, in which initially I'm initializing it to null, and let's declare a variable called current, in which I'm assigning head. Now let's start the iteration with a while loop, in which we are going to check current not equals to null and current dot next not equals to null. So I'm declaring a temp variable, temporary variable, in which I am going to store current dot next. Since we are going to change the current dot next, I'm just storing it in a temporary variable. So current dot next equals to temp dot next. So which means here, if current equals to 1, and in the temp I'm storing current dot next, which is 2, and current dot next, which means 1 dot next, I'm making it temp dot next, which is 3. So 1 dot next becomes 3. Then we need to do 2 dot next equals to 1, which means temp dot next equals to current. Then if previous not equals to null, then we are going to store the address of it, so that we can make it previous dot next equals to the next value, which is temp. Or if it is null, then we make it previous equals to current, and current equals to current dot next. Now we need to return the new head. So let's check the code with this example. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. This is the input we have, and we check if a head equals to null or a head dot next is null. Both of them are not are false, so we get to declaring these variables where new head equals to head dot next, which is 2, and previous equals to null, current equals to head is 1, so current equals to 1, while current not equals to null and current dot next not equals to null. Since current is at node 1, it is not equals to null, and its next is also not null. So we are declaring a temporary variable in which we are storing current dot next. Current is at 1, so current dot next is 2. Now we are making current dot next equals to temp dot next. So current is 1, so 1 dot next equals to temp dot next. Temp is 2, 2 dot next is 3. So next is temp dot next. Temp is 2, so 2 dot next is current. In current we have 1. So now what happened here is it became 2 dot next is 1 and 1 dot next is 3. So this is what we got here, and next what we are checking if previous is not equals to null. Initially we have it previous equals to null, so we are making previous equal to current. So now previous equals to 1, so previous comes here, and current equals to current dot next. Current is 1, and 1 dot next we have here is 3, so current becomes 3. The next step, current is not null because it is at 3, and the current dot next is also not null. So in the temp variable we have current temp equals to current dot next, which is current is 3 dot next is 4, and current dot next, which means 3 dot next becomes temp dot next. Temp is at 4 dot next is 5, and temp dot next equals to 2, current. So temp is 4, 4 dot next is current, current is 3. So now this becomes 3 dot next equal to 4 dot next is 5. And if previous is not null, then what we are doing is previous dot next equals to temp. In previous we have 1, so 1 dot next is temp. So in temp we have 4. Oh sorry, this becomes 4, 3 and 5. So 1 dot next is 4, which means we have like this, and before 1 we have 2. So this is the list we have until now. Now the previous becomes current, so the previous equals to current is at 3, and current becomes current dot next. 3 dot next is 4, and we check the while loop. If current not equals to null, current is at 4, it is not equals to null. Sorry, current is not 4, so previously the current is 3, and when we do current equals to current dot next, 3 dot next in the previous step is 5, so here the current is 5. And when we check if current not equals to null, yes, it is 5, it is not equals to null, and current dot next not equals to null, so 5 dot next here is null. So the while loop does not meet the condition, so it comes out of the loop, and we need to return the new head, which is 2. So when we return 2, we get this list. So this is our output, and this is the code for swapping the elements pairwise. Thank you.